Hi everyone, my name is Levi Rivera, and welcome to the Tay Experience. Today's episode is going to be called Voices in Focus. Can everyone please introduce themselves?
So my name is Javier Vicuña. I am the Tay mentor for this year's internship. This is actually just Levi's last show, as well as Gal's last show of this fall internship. So I just want to say thank you guys for being part of it. Excited to have you guys hopefully again soon in the future. But just want to let everyone be aware of that. Yeah.
And I'm Gal Lipschitz, an intern at Tay Radio Marin. So happy that you had me on this show. I'm super thankful, and I'm looking forward to our summer internship.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's this is just part of our fall internship. So we're excited to also have our summer internship. Thanks for mentioning that, Gal. And yeah.
Yeah, I'm also really thankful for being here. Getting kind of sentimental. But
It's okay. Last show, it's fine. I'm excited for this show.
I'll start us off with an icebreaker. So, if you guys could be best friends with any fictional character, who would it be and why?
Oh, right off the bat, SpongeBob. 100%
That's a good
SpongeBob.
one.
SpongeBob. I mean, he's just my guy. You know what I mean? Like, I love SpongeBob. I think SpongeBob would be really easy to get along with too, and I feel like he'd just be able to make like any dull like thing just a fun experience. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
That laugh.
that laugh. Yeah.
Can I do Patrick?
Patrick. Okay. What do you like
Yeah.
specifically about Patrick?
He seems pretty funny as well, and he's very cool. Like, he's very like low key and like fun to be around. I don't know.
He's just a chill guy.
He's a chill guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's never done anything wrong to anybody.
Yeah.
Right?
I never thought of it that way.
He's never really hurt anybody or made
Yeah.
made anybody feel bad.
Well, he's had his few times that he has,
Yeah,
but
but
like
on
not,
accident,
But
though.
not, yeah. I mean, most of the time, at least if we're talking about like season 1 through 3 of SpongeBob.
Oh.
Yeah, I think. But then after that, like, yeah, I think both SpongeBob and Patrick actually change a lot as characters.
Really?
Themselves. Yeah, the writing is like different and stuff. But I get you. That's a good choice. We all love SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess for me, it'd be Darwin from The Amazing World of Gumball.
Oh, nice.
Because Darwin he seems like a good fish.
He's also like someone I feel like you can rely on.
Yeah,
and,
like he's
a good
totally
right-hand
cool.
person. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I feel like you could talk to him about anything and he'd be chill with it. Like he
Totally.
wouldn't judge you type.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's start off with segment 1.
Yeah.
So
I guess a question for Levi.
Oh, yeah.
Here, what we can start off with is like, so Levi, tell us a little bit about. So over at SR, you're part of the Media Academy.
Yeah.
Talk to us a little bit about like what the Media Academy is, what you do in it. Just give us some context.
yeah, so Media Academy is an academy in one of the many academies at Centerville High School, and it's like a cinematography class that's also connected to like an AP English class. But the media focused like cinematography class is like focused on like making like helping students make movies, helping them like interact with different materials such as like cameras, microphones, field recorders, different devices such as those, and like really get like notice their how intricate they are, and like what goes on behind the scenes when making or producing a movie.
Cool. So it's like a whole media. Yeah. Like, well, as I said, Media Academy, it's kind of a way for you to all learn these different avenues in the media space, which is really cool. So I know recently you just, the school year finished, and you worked on a few projects. What were some of those projects like, or what were those projects that you worked on?
I think the 2 major projects, or actually 3 major projects I worked on this year. The first one that was my first major film that I made in a group was a PSA about what's it called? Climate change. So basically we were polled on like what we thought was one of the biggest issues in the world at the current moment. I chose climate change, and whoever had chosen climate change as well, I was put in a group with. The PSA was actually, we didn't know what exactly to do. So we actually decided to create a PSA about beef. Like saying no to the the whole movie is called Say No to Beef, and it's like a 10-minute movie about someone like about our main character, which was someone in our crew, making a beef burger, and it's like it's like this like kind of like suspenseful kind of they're like sequences of like him making and putting together a burger. So it's like him, and it's all like, it looks delicious and it makes you like want the burger, but then like it's like it filled with like at the end it's like flashbacks of like what like goes into making this burger. So,
So like what led to you getting that burger?
Yeah.
Which is like slaughtering of cows.
yeah, and like the thing about slaughtering cows is just
Yeah.
like how much methane it really like produces. So like when you kill a cow, it's like a bunch of methane and carbon emissions are produced from it. And since it's like done in mass for like a bunch of different animals, but cattle being especially dangerous because of how much methane it produces, that's why we wanted to focus on that. Because I feel like a lot of people think climate change is a lot about like plastic pollution, stuff like that, but they don't really realize like
the invisible gases.
yeah, exactly, like
You
what
can't see them, but
yeah, like
they're
what are
there.
the biggest like factors, like what are things you don't notice.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have something to add, Gal?
Well, I was just curious. Can you like describe to me like the process of making a film, like from like having the idea to like writing it and then recording it? Like, how would you go about doing that with your team?
Yeah, so it was kind of like we had an idea, like we wanted to show like because a PSA is like showing the truth about something.
Yeah.
So we wanted to make it really like raw and real. So like we wanted to incorporate food in a way.
Yeah.
So we started like brainstorming ideas, but we didn't really know where to go. So we had asked my teacher, Mr. Temple, about like whether or not what we should be able to do, or what we could be able to do with this project. And like he kind of pointed us in a direction where we could like probably do something with cows.
Yeah.
So we really liked the idea, and then we started like doing different ideas for what we could like put in the movie. So we started making screenplays, writing them. Screenplays are kind of like what goes behind the scenes in making movies. So like everything that like for example like what is happening in each scene or and shot. No, well, yeah, what happens in every scene and like what the character is saying. For an example, yeah, it's like basically what guides the movie.
Yeah.
So we were separated between juniors and seniors, and each group like wrote their own screenplay.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's we kind of like mix them together, and we came up with like what we wanted. And yeah, that was kind of how, yeah. And then with the process of like actually like filming, like we needed to make a shot list, so see what each exact shot we like where we wanted it. So with a whiteboard, we drew like where we wanted it, and like we wrote it down into like the computers, like so we had it on deck in the case that we needed it while filming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot of good learning. I'm very
Yeah.
impressed. Like that's a lot of professional level stuff that you guys are learning there. Cause,
Yeah.
you know, shot list, and I'm sure with the crew too. You know, everyone kind of had their own roles. You know, you have the director, you have the actors. Then you also have probably people who are there to like be an extra hand with the the sound person. I'm sure too, right? Someone holding like a little boom pole.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool stuff, Levi. So you mentioned 3 projects. What were the other projects that you worked on?
So the other project was we had to make like a hero film, so a heroic film about like a person from a movie that like it was like a parody of a movie. So my group had chosen Robin Hood, a very classic movie. We decided to do the original, not the one that's like animated. But yeah, that was really, I think I learned a lot of valuable lessons from that. I think I learned a lot about how to get how to really put like myself in charge of things and like not let my team down, because I feel like since it was such a long process, it was 12 weeks long that we had to film and to make pre-production, post-production.
Mm-hmm.
In all honesty, that's pretty short for something like that. But yeah, no, I get you though. Yeah.
It was yeah. And I feel like it wasn't like my last project where I had gotten along with my team. I had actually like gone through like bumps with my team, and like I feel like I didn't really get along with some of the older students in my group.
Right.
But I had like learned from that, and we all like ended up like really liking our movie and like being proud of it. And I think that's what made a difference in it.
Another question for you is, what was like your sort of like role in making the like films compared to like everyone else? Like, did you have like a specific like thing that you would do, as like Javi was describing with the producers and like the ones holding the camera and like stuff like that?
So
or were you kind of like all around, or?
this kind of, I think, is gonna be answered in like what like my final movie was for this year. So like I did a movie called Beneath the Familiar Stars, and I actually, so it's like it really like depends on like what role you want, I guess, kind of. So like you can kind of choose what you want. So there's like an audio person, there's a director, there's an assistant director, there's like, yeah, I said audio person, and there's like a director of photography, so the person who's like recording for me. Like you can choose, and it's like what you haven't done, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for this movie, I wrote the entire screenplay by myself.
Wow.
And it was all about like assimilation to American culture from a person, like from a
Immigrant point of
POC
view?
perspective and an immigrant perspective. So the whole thing was about like an immigrant grandmother, like kind of like trying to provide like as much like information about her heritage to her granddaughter as much as she could in like various different ways. And like it really stemmed from like what my like upcoming was like as a child, to like being like a like becoming a teenager. So I wanted to like incorporate a lot of that. So that was my role in that, and I decided to pass on, like I could have been director, because normally the person who like writes the screenplay would be the director, but I decided to give it to someone else, and I was assistant director. So it's kind of like just like picking, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how many like pages was your screenwrite?
I think it was 11.
Oh wow,
the
that's a lot
original,
of. That's a lot
But then I had shortened it because the movie was only 5 minutes.
Right. I was
It
gonna
was like
say.
a short movie, so I
Yeah.
made it 7 pages long, and I made the whole thing in Spanish.
Because isn't the rule like 1 minute per page or something? Or that's what I
Kinda,
heard.
yeah.
Kinda, yeah. I've heard that
Depends.
too. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we've had some people in the past on the show who are filmmakers and have done screenplays that are like 300, 400
Yeah.
pages long.
That's insane.
Even probably even more though, because like
How long could it take?
well, it's a long process, especially if you're thinking about like an hour and a half film at least, right? There's so many different aspects to it, but that's really cool, Levi, that you were able to write. And at least, so do you like writing?
Yeah. I think I like to write like when it's like about cinematography a lot. But like regular writing, I don't like. It depends.
Like writing for film, you like?
Yeah, and journalism. Even though I've never taken journalism, I think it's fun to write about topics that are like going on in the world.
How does it like connect with or an English class? That's an AP
That's
class.
a good question.
Because you like writing a lot, so like, is it like a part of it, or is it the entire class, or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So it's kind of like it's 2 different classes. It sometimes switches depending on who's filming. You could sometimes switch with another student, if like another student's group, if they're deciding to film that day. But like it's not like really like you're learning about film in English.
Yeah.
It's like it depends, like because if you're like we had read the things they carried. So it's a story about the Vietnam War.
I remember that
Vietnam War vet talking about his experiences, but kind of like in a fictional way. It wasn't like based off of like, well, it was based off of some experience, but the whole book wasn't like off of real people.
Yeah.
But kind of just like.
Well, that's how some of the
Yeah.
best movies out there are made. Is just you're pulling from personal experiences, but you're not making it exactly the way it is. But you're creating kind of a story that kind of makes sense in a movie form to really impact, and that's how you get some really cool movies out there, right? So that's really cool that you kind of took a similar approach, right?
Yeah.
Because I think when you're writing, I think what can make writing really fun is the more personal you make it,
Yeah.
and the more like experiences and connections you can put into it, right? So that's really cool. But moving on, Gal, talking about kind of your media stuff. You had mentioned before on the show that you were really into drones. So talk to us a bit more about like your experience with drone videography and just what really got you into it.
Yeah, so recently I got a drone, DJI Mini 3, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it initially just to like race it around and kind of have fun with it, but I never knew like how amazing drones could be for taking pictures and videos. So like as I started to use it and fly it around to different places and scenes, I started to like kind of you know capture like a memory box and kind of look back and be like, oh, these are great photos. And I kind of got into that, and I guess the DJI isn't really a photography, or it's not a racing drone. It's a photography drone. So
It's a racing drone.
a racing drone is like is one that's like really fast and has no limits, and it's like meant for just doing tricks and going as fast as possible.
Interesting. Okay.
So like I think I don't remember the names, but yeah, the DJI, it's like very like, the reason why it's such a good drone is because it connects directly to your iPhone and it has like its own app and everything. So you can really kind of like have a very simple like experience, and you don't have to like, I don't know, with the other ones, like use your computer and there's like this card and there's like, I don't know, these like goggles that you can like see through. Like, I don't know. I'm not trying to do all of that. I'm just trying to like, like as a beginner, just start and get into it.
Shoot something. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like a Costco deal, and I got it, and
I gotta go to Costco.
yeah, it's a great deal.
Interesting. Okay.
I would recommend it. And I think they're coming out with new models. But yeah, regardless, I think one of my favorite films that I've captured was kind of just from my like lodge or whatever in Tahoe. I flew it up and just went to the lake, and I saw like the entire, Lake Tahoe and the mountains and all of that, and the whole view was amazing. So yeah, I think that's my favorite that I've filmed, and I think I haven't really used a lot of it for any purpose. I kind of just have it stored, but I could show you, how it looks, and I know there's a lot of like landscapes you can sell, and there's also more things you can do with a drone, like
totally.
flying it above houses and like doing real estate projects.
Yeah, exactly. There's a whole
So
business
yeah,
for it.
I think
Whole business for it.
I think I can go more into like photography like as a business and not even as a passion in the future.
Yeah.
But
If
right
you really
now,
want to.
yeah, I'm just kind of like, doing things for fun, and yeah, there's so many cool things that you can do. A lot of presets, like you can make it fly up really high and like capture a video. You can make it like do like a world picture. I don't know. I just really
It
enjoyed it.
seems like it's very beginner friendly.
Yeah, it's super beginner friendly. That's like the whole point of the DJI Mini, is that you can like carry it anywhere you want, and you can kind of do whatever you want, and whatever you do, it has like this like object detection software, so that if it like if it's like close to crashing, or if it's about to like
stop.
yeah, it stops, and it can go back to your location or your home location if you lose it, as long as you don't run out of battery, of course. And yeah, so a very fun kind of thing that I thought would be kind of like I'd just buy it and store it in my room, but I've
Right.
actually been using it. A lot of other people say like they just put it away and don't do anything. But for me, I had a very different experience. Like if you're like on the border between buying one, I would say buy one, because you're probably going to use it more than you think. Like there's a lot of cases, anywhere you go, whatever you want to do, you can use it. Yeah.
Has there ever been any times where you feel like you've been limited to like using your drone? Like,
They do actually have like geographical limits, like physically, or like not physically, but like, there's laws in certain places and national parks where you can't do anything. That's
like
the
Mount
only.
Tam.
Yeah, maybe Mount Tam. I haven't checked, but that would definitely be like something like that. And it's actually kind of annoying, but if you do your research before you go to a certain place, that's the only like not beginner friendly thing. You can kind of figure out how to piece together your photography and stuff. So, I mean, obviously you can't go over like San Quentin. I wanted to do that one.
yeah.
Oh, you wanted to go all the way?
Yeah,
Dang.
because like it's not that far.
Could you get fined for like?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like they just shoot out of the sky and they'd figure it out, and they would not be happy.
Yeah.
Like, cause drones these days, they're trying to regulate them from doing anything too crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, they could probably like, book you for like some like criminal activity if you fly over San Quentin or something.
Definitely.
Because like it could be like helping a prisoner or whatever. I don't know.
Right.
Oh, Oh, true.
Probably not gonna
I
do
didn't
it.
think of it like that.
Yeah, because like, what if you're like dropping some like secret contraband or something?
That, or even just like I think it's just because it's the privacy, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
Like
like
they want to
taking
keep
Of the
their
prisoners,
they want to keep
yeah.
everything private
And the
there, so-
people.
and the people. So
Yeah.
whole lots of different laws.
Is it
that you
loud?
could be-
To fly it over there?
No, like just
Or-
in general. Like, is it loud?
Oh, is it loud? Yeah, but if you fly like 20, 30 meters, you can't really hear it.
Okay.
If it's like kind of close, you can like hear the bzzz, like the buzzing
Yeah.
sound. But yeah, like I try not to annoy people with it.
Hmm.
I wouldn't recommend that.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's my
Nice.
drone intro
Intro.
to drone course.
Do you think you'd be willing to do anything like new or like try anything like try to create a new project for like using Logic X this summer, like with your drone?
Ooh, wait, Logic X is the audio one, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
but like Final Cut
like,
Pro,
Yeah,
like using
kinda
like
like
video
both.
editing software.
Oh,
like
yeah.
like
Yeah.
capturing the footage and then editing it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a
Those-
few ideas actually for that. Yeah, I mean, one was kind of just making like a whole like Beauty of California thing,
Mm.
like going all over. And
I'm writing this down so I can steal it later.
yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure
But
they
yeah,
have
okay.
it though. I'm sure they have it. But I think even so, like the camera with it being 4K and it like having this like preset color grading,
Mhm.
it allows me to like really kind of just take pictures and put it all together in a clip. That's all I have to worry about. I don't really
Right.
have to like.
Because the colors are already pretty good.
Yeah,
on it.
the colors are like really vibrant and super super cool.
So it
So
already looks professional out of the box.
yeah, it's
That's
like
good.
professional grade for $350. You know.
Yeah.
Dang.
Did the
Yeah.
Media Academy not have a drone, or did any of the films use a drone?
No. I guess the closest thing we had to like a pretty like wide shot, like that's like overhead, is just like doing an overhead shot with a camera.
Yeah, like
Being,
in
like,
a top
handheld.
building. Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
you can't really like do what you do with a drone, you know, because
Yeah.
the drone is like super intricate.
Yeah, you can go wherever. Do you have like those like audio like things that you hold?
A boomstick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys use that for your films? or-
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
We barely
Feels
use
professional.
just like
The in-camera mic.
yeah. That's like
never
almost
good.
like that's like our last resort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if we forget to film the audio with the field recorder, so like it's like a headphones attached to like field recorder and like you press it and like it like connects to the boom and it's like the boom connects to a mic and then it's all connected.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you capture. But sometimes it could just like be wiped out. Like sometimes it just like glitches out and you won't hear anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like the last resort. But
Yeah.
is the audio for drones good?
I don't even think no.
It
probably
doesn't
not.
have
Most
audio?
people don't, most
Doesn't
people don't
take it.
use the audio on drones because you're so high up. Like I guess you could use it for well, it's just not gonna sound good because
Yeah.
the drone it like
Sound.
it makes a really high pitch like zzz noise.
Yeah.
So most people like put music and like sound effects and stuff like that to really make the drone footage like wow, right?
Yeah.
'Cause I think out of the
Yeah.
box, like yeah, you're not gonna really use the drone.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing you can do is like when there's birds flying by or like the ocean crashing, you just add in those sound effects, and it's very hard to tell the
Oh.
difference
Yeah, you can
between.
do sound design.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
that what you'd be like willing to do like later on with like editing?
Yeah, I'm actually really excited. I think I'm gonna get started. Like just by talking about it, I kind of want to get
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
Just like make my first clip of like Stinson Beach and kind of put it together.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
you-
some like cool like racing like zigzag things, like
Oh.
going through this
You
abandoned
should go
place.
in Lombard in San Francisco. It's like
Yeah.
like a wavy street. You should.
Oh, like
Yeah.
the red brick thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You should go there. to
That'd be
film.
cool. Weave through the buildings also. I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah. It's
If
so,
that's allowed, I'm
so
not even
cool.
sure.
Do you think like, what's it called? Are you like, do you want to post these somewhere? Do you want to make your own channel or like maybe try to sell these clips to people?
I mean, I don't think I'm there yet because I haven't even like really gotten started with making those videos. But I think if I can make like 2 or 3 that like I show other people and they're like, oh, this is really cool, then I think I'd get into that. I think I want to, what I want to do is like kind of get myself like to enjoy it first before I actually like make it into videos that I share.
profitable?
Yeah, because if I don't have like the passion for it, then there's like probably no point in really going too far into it before, it gets
Yeah.
really boring. Like I want to like actually make sure that I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't know.
That
Yeah.
makes sense though.
Yeah, no. I just don't want to like turn my hobby into like something like
that
Like,
isn't
that's-
fun.
yeah.
It doesn't turn fun.
Yeah.
Those are all great, guys. Like, I'm really
Yeah.
really happy to hear both of you sharing about kind of your experiences with audio and video, because one thing I want to emphasize is that you guys are creating a portfolio for yourselves. You know what I mean? Like, once you start really putting out these drone videos, you'll be able to actually start building kind of like your own portfolio, something you can show to potential clients or potential people who can connect you with things in media. Same
Yeah.
with you, Levi. You've already done 3 short films. Like, that's huge, especially at your guys' age right now. It's so important to build a portfolio, because that'll really it'll look really good on a resume,
Yeah.
especially for someone of your guys' age.
Yeah.
And people really like that, because it's showing that you can take initiative and that
Yeah.
you are capable of doing this, right? Because again, the more you're able to show people what you're able to do, the more people will be like, "Oh, okay, interesting. Let's talk." You know, it'll be more, people will be more inclined to check your stuff out.
Okay.
So I think, like, again, it's super important to like, the good thing is that the Media Academy keeps most of the stuff archived on Vimeo, so you're kind of able to like just link it,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
for people. And if you start your YouTube channel, you can just use your YouTube channel as your portfolio. Be like, "Oh yeah, I have a YouTube channel. You can check it out here and take a look at that." So.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, so it's really important for you guys to do. One thing too that I wanted to ask about, well, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but you were talking about like for audio wise, right? For one of the shorts or some of the shorts, you're saying like Elastigirl is using the on-camera mic. I think what a lot of people, and you were talking about like your sound design for your
Yeah.
drone footage and stuff, is like, I think what a big thing that's important about film and videos in general is like it's 50% sound and 50% video what you see,
Yeah.
right? Because let's say you watch like a movie that's shot beautifully, like, you know, with super expensive cameras and everything, but like the sound is terrible.
Yeah.
Are you gonna want to watch that? No.
You need
Or like
both.
there's no music, there's nothing to set the mood, nothing to get you more like connected. So that's why like sound design is just as important as the filming itself.
Yeah. I
Because-
feel like it's all about captivating your audience,
Mm-hmm.
wanting to like excite them and like want them to know, like want to keep them watching. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Yeah, because like ultimately what we want to do with these is if we want people, like you said, Levi, you want people to feel something when they watch your
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like that's why it's just so important to, it's not just about making the most beautiful shot in the world. Yes, that is a big factor, but it's not the only factor. There needs to be some level of sound design
Yeah.
somewhere for it to really pop out, you know? And that can just be as simple as using a good song, you know, a good song to get people like invested in it, right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I was gonna wait.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna ask you, since we were getting into like portfolios and like future employment and stuff,
Right.
and you're like one of the managers here at the Multicultural Center of Marin.
Yeah.
Do you have any like advice on how to get noticed, for example, like for people to get connected? Like, for example, like how you were talking to Gal about like his drones and like how to get his portfolio started. Do you have like any advice on like how to get that stuff done?
Yeah. So like I said, I think really for you guys at your age, what's really cool is to look into networking events for youth, like like if you search up youth media networking events, try to go to those, because usually what happens at those events is like there's people from the industry, like from the film industry there, that are specifically looking at like youth opportunities. And you can look at networking events there. You know, there are other networking events, but I think some of them are a bit more for like 18 plus, for like, you know,
okay.
you have to be like an adult or something. But regardless, another great local opportunity that I hope to get both of you involved in at some point in the fall. And any kind of the great thing about the TAE internships is we're able to get these kind of partnerships in the future, is the Mill Valley Film Festival. So are you guys familiar with the Mill Valley Film Festival?
A little bit.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah, so it's a film festival that's been going on. I think this year's going to be the 48th annual, so it's been going on for a while now. The Mill Valley Film Festival is super famous. They premiere pretty much some of the biggest movies that are going to come out like the year, like in 20. So for example, for this year's Mill Valley Film Festival, they're going to premiere a bunch of movies that are going to come out next year.
Oh.
Like,
So you're one
Hollywood?
of like like Hollywood level
Oh, wow.
movies. So it's like you're going to be some of the first people to watch these films.
Yeah.
so what I always tell people is that if you go on the Mill Valley Film Festival website, they actually have volunteer opportunities.
Yeah.
So if you, and that is available to youth. Like there are youth volunteer opportunities. So you can go on the website and you can look on there and you can just be like, I don't know, someone who helps just pass out the passes or helps out with like some planning person. Because I don't know, every time I've been to the film festival, I've seen a lot of high school kids there, and it seems like they're just kind of like volunteering. But the cool thing is that you're able, as a volunteer, you're able to go into like the after parties or go to the kind of the exclusive events throughout the whole festival, and then that way you can kind of like start seeing and meeting potential people in the industry, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
Especially the filmmaker. So that's the whole thing that's awesome about the Mill Valley Film Festival, is that we're not just watching the movie, but a lot of the times at the premieres, the director and the actors are there.
Yeah.
And they actually stick around after the movie for like questions. And there's like I was saying, there's like after parties where you can go and just even meet them in person and talk to them.
Whoa,
So that's how we're able to like, meet some really cool people. So like, for example, Santi and I, 2 years ago, we were able to meet Guillermo del Toro. And he was super, super cool to talk to. And I always try to, when we're at like talking to celebrities and big directors like that, we're always coming in with like in mind what questions we want to ask, because we want to make sure that we're using our time wisely.
Yeah,
right?
definitely.
And their time wisely.
And their time wisely. Like we want to just learn and get as much as we can out of them. So then that way we're able to kind of take that information and help that kind of build up ourselves up. Another thing too is like I said, I think it's really important to make your things visible. Like, don't be shy about your work. That's the other thing I want to really reiterate to you guys. I think what happens a lot is that a lot of people tend to get really shy about their work, and they're like, they don't want to show it to people because they feel like they'll be judged or something. But it's like, just show it, like, how are people going to know what you're capable of if they can't even see, if you're too shy to show like what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So I'd say don't be shy, especially at networking events. You can't be shy. You have to talk to people if you want to make connections. Yeah. So and like I said, I think doing like a YouTube channel, and you could also do like an Instagram page that can link to your YouTube channel. I mean, that's how you start building your brand, right? Is you create an Instagram, create all these social media accounts, and then just start kind of posting all your stuff on there, and then just start building from there. And eventually, I mean, your Instagram can be a portfolio. A lot of people use their Instagrams as portfolios now. So yeah, that's what I would say. It's some of the opportunities out there.
Thank you so much for the advice. I feel like I'd love to meet an actor, like a director or something at the film festival.
Well, what's something you guys would like to learn from a potential actor or director? Like, it could be literally anyone, but like, let's say in general, if you were to meet someone, what's like one thing you guys want to like take away from being able to talk to them?
I mean, like, obviously, like, how to get started, right? Like, in so much competition, like, how to like get like how to get known, and how to like get your first, whatever it is, like gig or whatever it's called. And I guess another question would be like, how do you kind of like just advertise like beyond, I guess, Instagram? Like, how do you get like a lot of like high profile people to like kind of recognize your stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, if I were to go like beyond in my drone stuff, like that's what I would say.
I see. How about you, Levi?
I feel like I'd ask like, what is the best like way, like, I guess, career path to get to like being someone, I guess. I mean, like, everyone is someone, but I guess to an extent where it's like someone like that's notable, I guess, someone people know. So kind of like connecting the goals, how to get noticed in a way.
How to get noticed, how
Through,
to
like,
make
your
it big.
career.
Yeah. How to get because the cool thing about the film festival too is that it's not just the actors and directors there, but it's like agents, right? Because actors have agents and they have like these private managers and stuff, and if that's also big connections there, because
that's a great opportunity,
because they know other agents and other actors, and they can just give you their information, be like, there'll be probably many times where like, what, just send me your stuff, here's my card, I'll take a look at it. So that's why it's so important to have a portfolio ready or something to show people ready. So then when you just message them, and then if they like their work, because there's also going to be just times that they don't like or they don't connect with what you're doing. But that's not you shouldn't be upset about that, but you should just use that as a way to either continue building your portfolio or just sending it to someone else, because eventually someone will connect with your work, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing. You do not want to create stuff that doesn't resonate with who you are.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. Like, I'm glad that both of you seem to be pretty set with, like, you guys kind of already are starting to build like a style of kind of what your footage wants to feel like and look like. Because what also tends to happen is people, like you said, Gal, like, they're doing it more for the money aspect and more for like the real fame part. So they try to like copy trends or copy what's like big on Hollywood right now. But like, you know, I feel like a lot of people lose touch of their own art and their own work. So like I said, I'd say stick to your creative, because someone will connect. Once you find that niche, you're golden, you know?
Yeah. I'm also scared not only of money, but also if you think about it, like AI, in terms of like the art world, because like,
oh my God, yeah.
if I develop my own things and I see AI doing this level work and I'm down here, then I'm like, oh, I want to use the AI to get up here, and I want to like kind of, you know, be less original and copy more off of AI. So like, I think that's another thing that as like a media maker we should think about, is like not falling for AI, I guess, if we want to be like our true like passionate selves.
Yeah.
In a way. Another question is, do they have like audio and sound and music at the film festival that you can like talk about and connect with, or is it mostly just like media and films?
No, it's actually there's audio engineers and sound designers at these film festivals too. And actually, really interestingly, so I had this opportunity to go watch the final episode of the series The Boys. I don't know if you guys have heard of that series. Really good series. Not for the faint of heart. Yeah. So if you're very sensitive to blood and gore and all that kind of stuff, I don't watch that show. But I really enjoy that show, and I think it's really well written, and the cinematography and the sound design are really good. They're really, really good. Yeah. And I had the opportunity to go to Lucasfilm and actually go and watch the last episode of the last season, which was the 4th season of The Boys. And it was awesome. It was a great opportunity. And it's not like any of the actors were there, but the sound designers were there. And I was able to talk to the sound designers after, and I told them, hey, just a quick question. Like, it was also really cool too. One thing also, Levi, I do want to reiterate here is that we need more females in the media industry as well. I feel like this is something I also heard when I was going to SF State, like, especially in the audio world, there isn't too many female audio engineers or too many female like sound designers. And there's so many opportunities for females, especially because the industry needs more females in it, right? So that's the other great thing and opportunities that you can have potentially is looking into stuff like that, like more female focused media programs and organizations, because those exist. Yeah. And they're always looking for people. So that's one thing I want to reiterate. But like I said, okay, so at the Boys premiere, there was actually the sound designer was female. And she was really cool. And I just talked to her about, what are some of the audio plugins? So plugins are like the virtual effects, you can use on like audio software. And she was just super nice and was like, oh yeah, we use this, and that. And I was like, oh, wow. And I actually had a few of those already myself. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So you guys use that too. And then she talked about also about kind of her approach to sound designing. So she gave me some of her like, kind of like her workflow, because the other thing you guys want to ask too is a great question to ask people is like, what's your workflow look like? Like, what do you especially if you're asking like an editor, like a video editor, what's your workflow look like? What's your and they're all going to have different answers to that. So that's always a really good question to ask, because then that way you're also able to implement some of their workflow into your work and become even more efficient and professional that way. And yeah, so it was really cool. So like I said, film festivals can really get you to some really great networking opportunities.
Yeah. Do you know when it is?
So I think the next Mill Valley Film Festival will be sometime in October.
Okay.
So we'll stay in touch, guys. We'll stay in touch about all that. But like I said, also, again, I do want to reiterate, like being a TAE intern, you're able to get those opportunities because we directly partner with the people who set up the Mill Valley Film Festival, which is actually the California Film Institute. They are the ones that own the Raphael Theater here on 4th Street. And they're really nice, and they're always here to support us. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, bruh. That was so, bruh. That
I
was so
know.
meaningful.
Yeah,
That was really
yeah.
nice.
Well, like I said, I think not enough people know about it.
Yeah,
Right.
I had no
Yeah.
idea that all this was going on like in Marin.
Yeah.
I
thought
knew
was,
it
like, San
existed,
Francisco,
but
Los
I
Angeles.
I thought it was for like adults, or like I thought it was for
Yeah.
people who already work in the media industry. Like I always feel like anytime I go to a networking event, it's for people who already are in that field.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
Or,
know
like,
what I mean?
even like graduates, like at the minimum. I didn't know it's like a high schoolish kind of thing.
Or
That
I
you
thought
can-
I didn't know people could volunteer. Like it seems like
Yeah.
such a closed event, like
Mhm.
kind of like a red carpet almost. Like it's like I don't know if I'm supposed to be here.
Right, but that's a thing too that I think is a big issue in Marin in terms of stuff. Is like people like to keep exclusivity or make things like exclusive,
like statusy.
like statusy too. But it's just like after, because okay, I was in the same shoes as you guys. I didn't have opportunities as a kid to even go to a studio or even be part of Media Academy. Like I really wish I could have been part of Media Academy, but I wasn't. So I had to do a lot of my stuff also learning just through YouTube, and then I went to university where I actually did learn hands-on stuff, which was great. But again, the Mill Valley Film Festival, I had always thought it was just like an older person thing. Like I had heard of it, but I was like, don't really see myself being there. But once I was actually invited and made that connection, and just asked like, hey, can we go this year and check it out? And they were like, great. And then once I actually like sat down, watched the movie, went to an after party, saw all these different people, I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is actually really cool. And it was really cool to see also like other young people there that were volunteering. And I was like, oh, okay, so this isn't just older people. Like there are opportunities. But again, it's just about not everyone knows about it. So it's like, of course there's not going to be too many young people
Yeah.
that they don't know about it, right?
And even if I knew about it, I didn't specifically know about like the volunteering for it.
Yeah.
yeah.
So isn't it like a ticket to get in the first place, or
So so I mean every movie you have to buy a ticket to go watch it.
Right.
But the cool thing too, I think with volunteering is you can get like passes to like go into like exclusive areas, or even like I think you still have to
Yeah.
buy a ticket.
Yeah.
But like there are passes, like festival passes for you to just walk in and watch any movie and stuff like that. But again, it depends on what they decide on every year, right? What they decide to give us. But
yeah,
we should go,
yeah.
y'all.
we should go. Yeah.
so I'll be watching some
Like, actually.
film festival content coming
Yeah.
up pretty soon, because it's coming up. I mean, October isn't too far away,
It's
right?
like 4 months.
4 months away.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Summer
yeah,
goes by quick.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
but yeah,
I guess we can go into like, since we're talking about like real life topics and like stuff that's going on in like not just like local but also like statewide things. We can jump into segment 2, which is about social media information and community impact.
Yeah.
So the first question I want to jump into is, for both of you guys, this question is, what do you think happens when people post ICE warnings without proof? So like considering like how we are doing politically in the United States and even in California, especially with the immigrant population, how do you guys feel about like what's going on in social media in that aspect?
so let me start with this. Have you guys seen on your social medias posts about ICE sightings here in Marin?
Yeah.
No, I have not.
Really?
I haven't
Have you
really
heard
been.
rumors?
I haven't really been on social media as much recently.
Mm.
But yeah, I've been seeing a lot of like crazy stuff on social media in general. I could say. I could say like the World War III stuff is going on. There's a lot of
Yeah.
weird trends. So yeah, I would just say from my end, like don't fall for these like lies, and don't fall for these like kind of trends that like misdirect you. Like the World War III thing, for example.
Yeah, like
So-
creating fear.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
fear mongering and
Fear
stuff.
mongering is huge. That's
Shouldn't
like
you shouldn't just fall for that. No matter what the topic is.
yeah. Levi, have you seen like ICE rumors being spread around on your social media feeds?
Yeah, I kind of see like people like post it on their Instagram stories. They're like, oh, like it's like a Rio de Janeiro like wallpaper background thing on Instagram. I don't know if you guys know. It's just like the
Okay.
it's like the wallpaper. I don't know what it's like colors, whatever color, and they're like, oh, I spotted in Home Depot here in Marin.
Is that really what it's like? Like
Yeah,
they just say, like,
and then
oh,
it's like
this
there's no
location.
pictures and some of them, but then I'm like, I don't know. It's like it makes me worry and stuff. It makes me worry about the people close to me.
Yeah.
But then again, if it's like some that are posted with pictures, then that's where I'm like, okay, like it's understandable, and I'm like, okay. But then it's also about like looking closer. It's like, is this person actually ICE, or is it just like a sheriff, for
Yeah.
an example. 'Cause sheriffs, they dress in dark green and white.
Yeah. Right.
I'm just
So,
curious,
yeah.
like who's posting like all these like
Like students, literally
Like
students.
kids?
It is
yeah,
student-
like
so-
students.
So great. Thank you guys for sharing. So what I want to share is that so here at the Multicultural Center Marin, we run our rapid response network here. So we run the Marin Rapid Response Network, which is it's a hotline where we have dispatchers who are able to get calls from people who are either have heard of ICE sightings or have heard of or actually are in front of or like facing ICE right now or something and need some kind of like guidance. They have dispatchers that actually go to these locations that they say ICE is in or supposedly ICE is in and supposedly the ICE is having activity to go verify and check how everything is, right?
Yeah.
So last week we received a ton of calls about all sorts of different ICE rumors, but I'll be honest, like 95% of all the calls we got were all false rumors.
Dang.
The only one that actually ended up being true was last Friday. There was actually ICE knocking at people's doors in Canal.
Oh.
Which was really scary to actually know because we went over there and all the neighbors had confirmed that the ICE was knocking. Like there was people knocking and they all had to kind of shut their like no one opened the doors.
Oh, no one
obviously.
opened?
No, but they could see through the windows and stuff that there was ICE presence because they were also in unmarked vehicles.
Yeah.
That's been another thing. I mean, like what I want to say is that it is very much a very real thing that's going on right now, even here in Marin, which really sucks to say. But the other thing too, though, is that on the Multicultural Marin Instagram, if you guys follow it, we're actually posting like verified updates of any ICE activity.
Oh.
Because again, we were also getting really tired of all the false rumors that were being spread on social media. Like even 2 weeks ago, there was a video of ICE supposedly at Pickleweed Park,
Yeah.
and it was a video that was from 2016.
Oh.
Like,
No way.
It was being shared, and people were like, "What's
Scared.
going
They were
on?" Yeah,
scared.
they were scared. They were like, "What? They're right here." But it's like they're sharing a video from so long ago. So I hate, like, I don't know. I don't understand why people have to do that.
Yeah.
I really don't get it. I don't get what the intentions are there. But people need to be very smart about what they post on their
Yeah.
social media, especially among something so sensitive like ICE.
Yeah, and also posting something like that could probably be tracked back to like who actually posted it
Yeah.
some of the time.
Yeah,
So
totally.
it's risky also
Yeah, 'cause-
to lie.
Mm-hmm. Because people will look down at you and start like
Yeah.
blaming you for doing that because it's not okay.
Yeah, the whole community would get really upset if they
Yeah.
found out like someone is like an imposter.
Yeah. I feel like hella people do that because like they want to be seen as like some like they're like
They wanna be like a
they're
hero.
they're trying to be a hero.
Yeah.
But then they don't actually do anything. I hate when people like talk about stuff and then they're not actually like going out in the street. They're not speaking. They're just like talking. They're talking to their phone. They're talking to whoever's viewing their story. They don't go out. That's like another thing I want to touch on, like with
Yeah.
stuff about that, like people who are posting these things and people who are like constantly trying to talk about things on social media. Like some of them don't
Take any actions to
Yeah.
be in prison. Yes, I'm also in the same boat where I see that and I'm like, okay, like it's fine to share and speak out, but if you're not doing anything yourself to really
Yeah.
make a change, then I don't really see you as a valuable ally.
exactly.
I might be a bit of controversial take there, but like I wholeheartedly agree with what you're saying, Levi. I think too many people get too comfortable behind their phones. And if there's not enough action being shown, or at least like showing up to these events and really seeing what's going on in your community, then you're just kind of speaking, you're just kind of like not even using your own voice. You're really just
Yeah.
speaking up through whatever someone else said, right?
Exactly.
But speaking of that, I don't know if you guys knew about all the No Kings protests that happened about
I went. I saw the MCM director. I think
Yeah,
director,
Lisa was there. Yeah.
I listened to her speak and I was like, dang, like what
Yeah.
she's saying is true. Like
Yeah.
I watched everyone speak and it was amazing.
I was there too. I'm surprised I didn't see you.
Really?
Well, it was a ton
Yeah,
of people.
there was so,
So
many.
that-
I've never seen so many people
That
on our
many?
street.
Yeah, there was over 1,500 people.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
it was that much. If-
All in
dude,
where? In San
Here,
Rafael?
here in San
Here
Rafael.
near Coldstone.
Yeah, near
Coldstone.
Coldstone. Yeah.
Okay.
It was a beautiful demonstration, though. I have to say I'm proud to see so many people there and showing support.
Yeah.
I think that was beautiful, and it does feel like some hope. And I also did love seeing some Latino people there. I know that's the other thing is like a lot of Latino people, you might not see them too much at protests because they're simply just scared.
Yeah,
You know, like
yeah.
they're putting themselves in a vulnerable position where who knows what could happen if they go to a protest and then potentially ICE shows up or something, right?
Yeah, or like police.
Or police shows. I don't know. But there's a lot of fear too for people to exit out. So,
Yeah.
but when I saw a lot of Latino people there, I was like, wow, okay, well, I'm glad
feels
that they're
good.
here and I'm glad they're popping out, because it is important for us to see that. But yeah, it was a beautiful day. I also liked all the cars that were passing by
Yeah,
with
they were,
like
like,
flyers and
beeping.
beeping, and it was just everyone's signs were so creative too. There were just some
Yeah.
really good signs. What was
Did you write a sign? Did you write one?
No, I didn't write a
You
sign.
just went?
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
went. I went, but I was part of the whole crowd, and I was just saying, and I was getting a lot of footage. Like that was my big thing. I was like
Oh,
getting a lot
really?
of footage.
I'd be some drone footage as well.
And some
Oh,
drone
you
footage
should've
would have been
done that.
great.
It
yeah,
would, it looked amazing. Like
From the
I was
top.
like
Like from
looking
above.
from above, like where everyone. It looked like everyone was just like.
Yeah.
It looked so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because people were pouring onto the streets a little bit, and I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
would have been so nice.
Yeah, there's actually a really cool aerial shot of that
Everyone?
protest. Yeah.
Dang.
That they took, and yeah, but
Was there like any like police presence or anything, or was it just
honestly no.
Closed
I didn't
roads.
see
That's
anyone.
that's what I really liked about this protest.
It was
very
pretty
free.
peaceful.
It was peaceful, and the police weren't like super present.
We
like,
didn't
in
march anywhere. It was
No.
it was a rally.
like yeah, just noise and a lot of
cheering,
Speakers.
speakers, yeah, all that kind of stuff. So it
Yeah.
was really great. But yeah, like I said, right now in Marin, this is the reality we're in. So one thing I do want to share. So for the Marin Rapid Response Network, it's a 24-hour hotline. That's the good thing is that so at any time there'll be someone to answer. And the phone number is 415-991-4545. Again, 415-991-4545. So yeah, I mean, I just want to repeat it because it's an important phone
Yeah,
for people to know.
yeah.
Like, because again, more people are actually starting to know about it. That's how we're getting like calls daily. That's how we're getting more people to be aware and see us as like, hey, we are the hub to get people confirmed and not spread rumors. Because that's the one thing we don't want to do.
Are you guys like allied with the Latinos Unidos?
I think that's kind of their own thing.
Oh.
But we really are focused on getting people's calls and then sending dispatchers, like,
Okay.
people to go and confirm these things for them.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
okay, is ICE presence there? We also have a lot of connections with all the different, the police station to confirm with them and call them like, hey, people saw activity on this street. Is it police? And they'll say yes or no or
Yeah.
whatever, right?
They're not trying to hide it.
No, and then also the probation officers. So you were talking, Levi, about how people confuse ICE agents for like a police or something. Well, actually ends up getting confused the most. It's probation officers because probation officers wear like very similar kind of vests to ICE. So we've been getting a lot of false calls of like it ended up being probation officers but not ICE. So yeah.
See.
But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share. But yeah, we're kind of getting towards the end of the show.
Yeah.
Levi, I don't know if there's any last kind of words you wanted to ask us here.
Well, I guess like, what are your guys' like hopes for the future in ways like that? Whether it's like media or like whatever you guys want to do. Like, what change do you guys want to see in like the industry and like your future?
What I'll start off by saying is that you guys have done so much at your guys' age. And for anyone who is still in high school and just wants to start building their portfolio, do it. You guys are at the age to really start just trying out new things. And the advantage that you guys will have going into college and going into these different, majors, and there's so many like cinematography majors like all over the country, and we have some great ones here in California because obviously we're, LA is kind of like the big place for Hollywood and
Yeah.
and film and all that. having all those opportunities there and taking advantage of what you're able to do right now at your guys' age, huge. So continue building your portfolio. I'm really excited to see some of the drone footage and continue seeing what you're going to work on, Levi, because all that stuff is super important for you guys to be doing at your age. Yeah.
So one thing that I would want to carry away from what we've talked about into the future is kind of making my media, but with an impact rather than just making it for the sake of money. Because I think that if we sort of have like a message behind it, or like a what we should carry away from it, I think people would be a lot happier kind of finishing to watch my videos and my media, because they'd really know what to do from it. They'd want to, for example, if I do some nature throughout California, you know, they'd want to have a step back from polluting the earth, and they'd want to think more consciously about climate change and things like that. So I think just sort of making media, whether it be like drones or audio or anything like that, so and having sort of a message behind it, having like a deeper meaning, is what I'd want to carry away. Like, I don't want to just make things for the sake of them looking cool or having aesthetic
or just
effect.
like content.
Yeah, like I don't want to make, like, for example, in music, some like, you know, cool hip hop song that's kind of repetitive, and I want to have like a meaning behind it, or a story behind it at least.
I like that.
It's kind of my idea.
Yeah. How about you, Levi?
I think for me, I want to be like a really like authentic person. In the case I do get into media, I want to bring in like really like, I don't want to like follow trends, I guess. I think I like to do my own thing. I don't know. I think sometimes drawing out of the lines can make change, and it can like help actually like grow things in media. And like that's how media is. It's just like your own impact, and that's why I think I love it so much. So I hope I can do that in the future in the case that I do. But yeah.
Awesome. Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I think Gal will see you guys in the summer.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, we'll be seeing Gal,
Yes.
but again, this is Levi's last show, at least for this spring internship. We'll see if she can come back sometime in the fall. But other than that, that's been Tay for the fall internship. I keep saying fall. It's spring internship. And
wait, is it only spring or?
So I mean, we're gonna be offering spring, summer, and fall. Hopefully.
Oh, okay.
Again this year, but we'll keep people updated on that. All right.
Thank you guys so much, and bye.
Thank you
Take
guys.
care. Bye bye.